and welcome to another edition of Frankston North Rotary's Couch Conversations. My name is Beverly Unit, a proud member of Frankston North Rotary, and today we have two special guests. We have Ross Shepherd and John Tame. Now, Ross is a member of the Australian Plant Society and a member of the Banksia Study of Australia, and John Tame is here in the capacity of representing Frankston North Rotary. So we have a fabulous conversation in line tonight, or today, gentlemen, because Ross, you've been on a bit of a project for a wee while, turning neglected land into a space of beauty. Can you tell us about how that started for you?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Bev. Yeah, we were driving past land that was on the side of Seaford Road, and it was just all back fences and derelict waste land, dumps, people wasting it, things like that. And over 7 years I've lived in Seaford here in Victoria, I've discovered that it's very amenable to growing a large range of Australian Banksias, including the ones from Western Australia, which are difficult to do. So with that in mind, I set about gaining rights to plant plants of Banksias in this land. So that was the beginning of the inspiration.
Oh, I love it.
Instead of it.
Yeah, and being a member of the Banksia Study of Australia, you're right across how Banksias grow and thrive, but you tested it out in your own backyard first before you went and did this, didn't you?
Yeah, I put in 4 or 5 plants, which grew spectacularly. In my experiences, I'd never seen anything like it. I had plants that would take 2 or 3 years to flower, or flowering in a year. They were growing at a metre or more a year. And it was just phenomenal. I thought, this is too good not to share this experience with as many people as I could. So with that in mind and a vision to improve the local community and work with community, I have created the Seaford Banksia Arboretum Project.
Wow. So there's this space of neglected, not kind of cared for land. It's you see an opportunity to beautify it, but it doesn't just happen overnight. There would have been some applications and conversations and things that you had to really go through to get it to the stage where you could put your first Banksias in.
Yes, you're right. Initially, I thought the land belonged to the Frankston City Council, and I approached them through their botanical garden department, and I quickly learned that the land belonged to VICROADS. So I wrote a long letter to whom it may concern to VICROADS, never expected to see anything come back. And about 6 months later, I got to meet a man called Kelly Blackwell, who's an environmentalist with VICROADS. He put me under his wing, and over a period of another 6 or 8 months, we developed a situation where I was given a license to plant with VICROADS, and all the workers to be covered under the Keep Victoria Beautiful campaign, so that anybody coming along signed in, signed out, similar to what Rotary does, and we could start to plant. And that commenced on the 1st of May this year.
Wow. So, Ross, it all starts from a germ of an idea, of a skill and a passion that you have for a plant, but then a team is what actually makes it happen. First there's that small team, the dynamic of yourself and Kelly from VICROADS, but now it's gone even wider for this beautification to happen, because suddenly Frankston North Rotary is a part of it. And John, can you share with us what's happening here? How is it that you've become involved in this?
Yes, Bev. One of our members brought Ross along as a guest speaker one night, and I was very intrigued with this because I love native plants as well. And my job in Rotary this year is Director of Community Services and Projects. And I thought, well, this would make a fantastic project just to beautify this, and Rotary's in environmental policies as well. So it was a great opportunity to be involved. So our Rotary Club is putting in some money, as is the Rotary Club of Frankston. And we're pooling that together, and we're applying for a Rotary District grant to match that money. So we figure that if that grant is successful, which we hope it will be, we should be able to provide somewhere in the vicinity of 720 Banksias to be planted.
Wow. And Ross, how many do you anticipate you're actually going to need for this stretch that you're actually doing? Is 720 like a major part of it?
No. We've got the roads divided into 2 lots. And the sum total of the land is about 2 hectares. And so we anticipate something like 2,500 Banksias in total.
Okay.
But the lot that John's referring to, which Rotary are offering to sponsor, is a smaller lot. It's about 500 square metres.
Wow. But the 720, when you're anticipating 2,500, it's a good cut into it to a start, because we've got to start somewhere.
Exactly so.
Apart from providing the plants or the money for the plants, our club will also be helping in clearing vegetation from the back fences or the houses that back onto the plot, and cleaning up the area so the planting can be effected without too much problem.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So the manpower comes into it because of the Rotary members being able to work under the guidance of what Ross and his team need, his volunteer team, to be able to like clear and then plant and grow. Yeah. And so, Ross, the length of time that this has been a part of, a project in your mind to actually coming to fruition, what's the kind of time frame that we're looking at?
18 months, 2 years.
18 months, 2 years. And you got the rights to start this earlier this year?
The 1st of May.
1st of May this year.
Yeah, well, that's when we got official acceptance by VICROADS to be an authorised roadside revegetation group, in inverted commas.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. So, John, from a Rotary point of view, it's part of the community spirit where Rotary turns up sometimes very quietly. People don't realise what Rotarians are actually doing in the community behind the scenes.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's never just Rotary on its own. It's working with the community. So it's working with people like Ross who have got a project in mind of something they want to create and beautify. What's the manpower you're expecting and the hours you're expecting to be putting into this from a club perspective?
Well, we're not too sure yet because it's in the early stages. But straight away we recognised that Ross had a problem in trying to do everything at once. He's got a great idea, and we just want that idea to come to fruition. Yeah, so we'll do all we can when we can to give him a hand. Bearing in mind we're not spring chickens anymore either. So,
Speak for yourself.
So we're relying on it. Look, it's interesting to note that VICROADS, whilst they've given Ross the go ahead to do all this, they're not doing anything really to help, which is making it very, very difficult. But we hope to bring in other partners with that have got the equipment to get rid of some of the vegetation and to do some of the slashing to make it a lot easier for us.
Well, that's a very good point. If there's somebody listening to this who knows someone who has some, plant equipment that can make a difference to slash, to help clear, to right down to digging holes, I'd imagine, all that sort of bits of, the machinery that you see on the sides of roads that can really make a difference and reduce the man hours. They should be getting in touch with you, John, as a point of call for a start.
Yeah, they could do that. And if anybody's got a post hole digger they'd like to donate, that'd be very helpful to dig the holes for the plants. Yes,
even if they can donate the time of borrowing the post hole digger. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, and you mentioned the word spring chickens. So if there are some spring chickens from the community who are listening in and would love to be a part of it, whether or not they wish to join Rotary or not has got nothing to do with it. It's got to do with, do you have an hour or 2 hours that under the coordination of Rotary working with Ross, could you donate an hour or two? Because people don't necessarily need to be a part of Rotary to come along and be a part of the Banksia restoration.
Right. Yeah. And another thing that we're planning to do too is invite the public to actually purchase a plant.
Great idea.
And the average price for the plants that Ross can get them for at the good price is around about $7.50, $8. So if people can purchase a plant from us, and then we'll plant it for them, and that can be their plant. So by doing that will free up more money to buy more plants as well. So
wow, that's fabulous. So if you can think of people are listening to this and they've got $15 or $20 or more or less to spare, every little cent adds up. And perhaps even families can donate that, and they can know that one of those Banksias that's planted there is something that they contributed to the beauty of the area. So many of the community, if you are listening to this, if you're listening to this and notice someone that you can share the message with, then by all means, if there's some equipment that you can help with, then please get in touch with John Tame at Frankston North Rotary. The email address is at the base of this recording that you can see right now. And also what John will do is he'll help coordinate volunteers and also any funds that are raised to go towards Ross's project. Because Ross, you're the big overseer of this, all knowing the Banksias and where they need to go and what they do. All the volunteers are listening to you. Right, we need to clear this and put this here. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Very much so. You're on the ball. Yes.
There we go. Excellent. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the project, Ross? Anything else you'd like to say?
No, it's purely just a community beautification project in an area where a lot of the local traffic passes over a freeway overpass. And the vision I have is as you come over the overpass, you'll suddenly just be hit with a splash of golden colour, which will variations of colour the whole year round, where it used to be just a wasteland. So this idea can be grown to other corners of the same area. But at the moment, we'll stick with what we've got because 2,500 will take a while to get to.
Excellent. And for the locals who are listening and they're driving in the area, give us a bit of a whereabouts of where to keep a watch on over the next few months and years as this evolves.
Yeah, sure. It's on the corner of Wells Road and Seaford Road in Seaford 3198. Excellent.
So keep an eye on that, folks, because over time you'll start to notice, wow, where did that splash of colour come from? Well, it's come from one man's great idea and his love of Banksia. And doing something and then getting some other voices and energy on board by simply talking to your local Rotary Club and going, wow, we can do something too. So if you have an hour or two, if you have an hour or two a month, an hour or two a week, an hour or two a fortnight, and you would like to be a part of the community, please come along and get in touch with your local Rotary Club, because these are the sorts of things we're doing. It doesn't take one person. It takes one person with an idea, but then it takes a group of people to really make something come to fruition. And that's what Rotary is all about, doing good in the world. So thanks for your time today, Ross. And any final words from you, John?
No, I think you've said it all. Thanks, Bev. And
beautiful.
We look forward to seeing it all come to fruition.
We certainly do. I can't wait to see the photos that the public will be taking and putting up on their own, sharing with their own families and social media. And remember, folks, if you'd like to donate a Banksia or two, then please get in touch with John Tame at the email address you see below this recording, because we would love to be able to plant some Banksias on your behalf in Ross's great project.
It's probably important, Bev, that they don't, if people want to donate Banksias, they don't just buy one, that they confer with us first.
Oh, definitely.
We don't want great Banksia trees. We just want a certain type. But
it's more the funds. If they'd like to donate the funds, you'll get the right ones for that soil condition in that area.
Correct. Yes.
That'd be fabulous. All right. Hey, thanks for your time today, gentlemen. Lovely to catch up. And until our next couch conversation, it's Beverly Unit saying, if you have a little moment or two in your time to join in with Rotary, please be in touch with your Rotary Club, because it's a community doing good in the community. See you soon. You've been viewing some photos of the progress so far from start to where we've got to so far on this fabulous Banksia project. And there's a Facebook page, I believe, Ross.
Yes, you can search under Seaford Banksia, or the full name of the project is the Seaford Banksia Arboretum Project. Either way, it'll come back to my page, which I use as a communication tool to the community of volunteers we work with.
Oh, wonderful. So if you'd like to follow that page, you'll actually start to see many photos of the progression of this great community project. Thank you, gentlemen. See you soon.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Couch Conversations, brought to you by Frankston North Rotary. To discover more about Rotary, ask a question, explore if Rotary is ideal for you, please connect on our Facebook page or via email.